Corn dollies or corn mothers are a form of straw work made as part of harvest customs of Europe before mechanization. Before Christianization, in traditional pagan European culture it was believed that the spirit of the corn lived amongst the crop, and that the harvest made it effectively homeless. James Frazer devotes chapters in the Golden Bough to Corn Mother and Corn-Maiden in Northern Europe, and adduces European folkloric examples, collected in great abundance by the folklorist Wilhelm Mannhardt. Among the customs attached to the last sheaf of the harvest were hollow shapes fashioned from the last sheaf of wheat or other cereal crops. The corn spirit would then spend the winter in this home until the corn dolly was ploughed into the first furrow of the new season. Dolly may be a corruption of idol, or may have come directly from the Greek word eidolon, that which represents something else. Background. James George Frazer discusses the Corn Mother and the Corn-Maiden in Northern Europe, and the harvest rituals that were being practiced at the beginning of the 20th century. In the neighborhood of Danzig, the person who cuts the last ears of corn makes them into a doll, which is called the Corn Mother or the Old Woman, and is brought home on the last wagon. In some parts of Holstein, the last sheaf is dressed in women's clothes and called the Corn Mother. It is carried home on the last wagon, and then thoroughly drenched with water. The drenching with water is doubtless a rain charm. In the district of Bruck in Styria, the last sheaf, called the Corn Mother, is made up into the shape of a woman by the oldest married woman in the village, of an age from 50 to 55 years. The finest ears are plucked out of it and made into a wreath, which, twined with flowers, is carried on her head by the prettiest girl of the village to the farmer or squire, while the Corn Mother is laid down in the barn to keep off the mice. In other villages of the same district, the Corn Mother, at the close of harvest, is carried by two lads at the top of a pole. They march behind the girl who wears the wreath to the squire's house, and while he receives the wreath and hangs it up in the hall, the Corn Mother is placed on the top of a pile of wood, where she is the center of the harvest supper and dance. Many more customs are instanced by Frazer. For example, the term old woman was in use for such corn dolls among the Germanic pagans of Flanders in the 7th century, where St. Eligius discouraged them from their old practices. Make vetulas, little deer or iaticos, or set tables at night, or exchange New Year gifts, or supply superfluous drinks. Frazer writes, in East Prussia, at the rye wheat harvest, the reapers call out to the woman who binds the last sheaf, "You are getting the old head mother." In Scotland, when the last corn was cut after Hallowmas, the female figure made out of it was sometimes called the Carlin Carline, that is, the old woman. Materials used: Great Britain, mainly wheat, oats, rye and barley. Ireland, rush. Southern France, palm leaves. With the advent of the combine harvester, the old-fashioned, long-stemmed and hollow-stemmed wheat varieties were replaced with knee-high, pithy varieties. However, a number of English and Scottish farmers are still growing the traditional varieties of wheat, such as Maris Widgeon, Squarehead Master, Aletla Pupple, mainly because they are in great demand in thatching, a craft which is enjoying a renaissance, with customers facing long waiting lists for having the roofs thatched or repaired. Types: corn dollies and other similar harvest straw work can be divided into these groups. Traditional corn dollies named after counties or place names of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Other corn dollies include Anglesey Rattle, Cambridgeshire Umbrella, Durham Chanticleer, Clearditch Herefordshire Fan, Kincardine Maiden, Leominster Mart, Norfolk Lantern, Northamptonshire Horns, Oakhampton Mare, Oxford Crown, Suffolk Bell, Suffolk Horseshoe and Whip, Team Valley Crown, Welsh Border Fan, Welsh Long Fan, Worcester Crown. There are also corn dolly designs from other countries, for example Pathika USA Dasi from Turkey, named after the town of Kusadasi. Countryman's favors and other harvest designs. Her countryman's favor was usually a plait of 3 straws and tied into a loose knot to represent a heart. It is reputed to have been made by a young man with straws picked up after the harvest and given to his loved one. If she was wearing it next to her heart when he saw her again, then he would know that his love was reciprocated. 3 straws can be plaited using the hair plait or a cat's foot plait. Favors can be made with 2, 3, 4 or more straws. Other examples include Bride of the Corn, Devonshire Cross, a harvest cross from Topsham, Devon, Dedham Cross, St Brigid's Cross. The National Museum of Ireland has many examples of harvest crosses. Fringes: Larnaca fringe, Montenegrin fringe, Lancashire fringe. Large straw figures: these are representations of deities, animals or spirits, made from an entire sheaf. They are known by a variety of names, depending on location and also the time of harvesting. The Goddess series: Maiden or Bride, Kern Dolly, Kern Baby. The neck, hair, lame goat, Scottish Gaelic, Gobber Backhatch, Straw Dog, Stray Bico, Caich Gaelic, Old Woman of the Hag, Caseg Fedi, a harvest mare in Wales, Wyrac or the Hag in Carnarvonshire, Wales, Whittlesea Straw Bear, the centre of a ceremony in Whittlesea, Cambridgeshire, every January. Its origins are obscure. Tied straw work. Here the straw is not plaited, but tied with yarn, wool, raffia or similar. This type of straw work is particularly popular in Scandinavia and German-speaking countries. Examples of these are the Oro, the Tomtanese, and smaller versions of the Yule goat. Ridge finials: these are straw sculptures which are placed on the ridge of the thatch roof. They are sometimes purely for decoration, but can be the signature of a particular thatcher. Animal shapes are the most common. In days gone by, hayricks would also be thatched and topped with a straw decoration.